Forget everything you know about football rivalries. Today, the world stops. We are in Buenos Aires, where the air is thick with smoke, the ground shakes under your feet, and a city is divided by a blood feud that's lasted over a century. Welcome back to the Sportx Radar Derby series. After conquering the giants of Europe, we've officially reached Chapter 5, and it's time to face the ultimate beast, the Superclásico. This isn't just a game. It's Boca Juniors versus River Plate. It's the Genovese against the Millionaires. It's the raw passion of La Bombonera clashing with the historic soul of El Monumental. Some call it the most intense experience on earth, others call it civil war in a jersey. You're watching the most explosive series on YouTube. If you have football running through your veins, you're already part of the Sportx Radar family. Buckle up, because this is where history gets written in blue, gold, and red. Let's dive into the madness.
You know, some football matches are just games. Others are huge cultural events. And then there's the Superclásico. In Argentina, when Boca Juniors and River Plate face off, it's not just another date on the sports calendar. No, it's a national event. It literally divides families, it stops entire cities, and it really captures the soul of the country. So to understand why this one match means so much, we've got to look way beyond the 90 minutes on the field and dive right into the heart of Argentina itself. I mean, listen to that. When players who have competed at the very, very top of world football say that nothing compares to this, you know it's something truly special. This is about way more than just 90 minutes. We're talking about a century of history, of identity, and just this raw, unfiltered passion that completely explodes twice a year. So how did it get to this point, right? How does a rivalry get so intense that it actually starts to define the identity of a whole nation and its people? Well, the answer isn't just about winning trophies or titles. It's way deeper than that. It's a story that's rooted in the streets of Buenos Aires, going back more than 100 years.
To really get the fire and the passion of today, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Back to a time when these two giants were, believe it or not, neighbors, born from the exact same world.
Okay, so what's so fascinating here is that this bitter rivalry started in the exact same spot. At the turn of the 20th century, La Boca was this vibrant, tough, and pretty poor neighborhood, and it was filled with immigrants, mostly from Italy, all just looking for a new life. And it was right here, among the dock workers and the laborers, that both of these clubs were born.
But the huge turning point, the moment everything changed, came in 1925. That's when River Plate decided to relocate. They moved north, away from the working-class docks of La Boca to the wealthy, aristocratic neighborhood of Núñez. Now, this wasn't just a change of address. Oh no. This was the moment the rivalry's DNA got permanently encoded. It created this epic story of two clubs, two neighborhoods, and two completely different social classes.
And that move just sealed the deal. It solidified the whole divide. Boca stayed put in La Boca, totally embracing their immigrant working-class roots. They became the Genovese, the Genoese. Meanwhile, River, with their new wealthy backers, became Los Millonarios, the Millionaires. And look, this isn't just some old backstory. It defines absolutely everything, from who their fans are to their core philosophies of how football should even be played. A rivalry like this, well, it needs its cathedrals. And these two are some of the most famous in the entire world. They aren't just stadiums, you know. They are sacred grounds that basically embody the spirit of each club.
First up, let's head to La Boca, to a true icon of passion and intimidation, La Bombonera, the beating heart of Boca Juniors.
They call it the chocolate box because of its totally unique, steep D shape. You've got these stands that are built almost vertically, right on top of the pitch. That design creates an insane acoustic trap that makes the noise absolutely deafening. And yes, the stories are true. It's famous for literally vibrating when all the fans start jumping together. This place isn't just a venue, it's a weapon of pure, raw, working-class pride. Then you go across town to Núñez, and you find its complete opposite. El Monumental, a sprawling, grand, and just imposing giant of a stadium.
El Monumental is just vast. It's Argentina's national stadium, a place of huge historic triumphs, including hosting the 1978 World Cup final. So if La Bombonera is this intense pressure cooker of raw emotion, El Monumental is like a grand theater, a symbol of elegance, of scale, and of national prestige.
The contrast between the two souls of Buenos Aires really couldn't be any clearer. Now, the engine behind the atmosphere in both stadiums, that would be the Barras Bravas. These are these super organized, ultra-fanatical supporter groups. They're basically the directors of the whole spectacle. They're the ones orchestrating the incredible visual displays, the giant flags, the seas of smoke, the perfectly timed chants that make the Superclásico a sensory overload, unlike anything else in sports.
But, of course, the real identity of this rivalry was ultimately forged out there on the grass through legendary players and unforgettable games that are now just a part of Argentine folklore.
And what's amazing is that the battle on the field so often mirrors the club's identities. Boca prides itself on something called garra. It's a Spanish word that means grit, claw, this relentless spirit. It's about winning through pure willpower. River Plate, on the other hand, historically is the club of La Máquina, the machine. That's a style built on elegant, technical, and free-flowing attacking football. And of course, certain players become the living embodiment of these ideals. For Boca, who else could it be but Diego Maradona, the genius from the slums who played with a fire and a rebellious passion that perfectly mirrored the fans. And for River, you have the elegant Uruguayan Enzo Francescoli. They nicknamed him the Prince for his just sublime grace and skill. These guys weren't just players, they were icons carrying the soul of their club right onto the pitch.
This rivalry has been absolutely littered with epic battles, but nothing tops what happened in 2018. They met in the final of the Copa Libertadores, which is South America's version of the Champions League. It was immediately dubbed the final of the century, a showdown so massive, so intense, it actually had to be moved to Madrid, and it captured the entire world's attention.
But the true power of the Superclásico, it resonates so far beyond the stadium walls. In Argentina, football is so much more than a sport. It's just woven into the very fabric of their national identity.
Get a load of this number. Over 70%, more than 2/3 of the entire population of Argentina, supports one of these two clubs. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just a city rivalry. It's a cultural fault line that runs through an entire nation.
On Derby Day, families are split right down the middle. Friendships, yeah, they get put on hold. Workplaces become these little battlegrounds of banter and tension. Your club is just a part of who you are. It's passed down through generations. And in a way, it reflects the country's own social and political divides, acting as both this great unifier and a great divider, all at the same time.
So in the end, choosing to wear the blue and gold of Boca or the red and white of River, that's not a fashion statement. It's a declaration. It's a statement about your history, your values, your neighborhood, and really, your place in the world.
But as we look to the future, there's a new challenge on the horizon. I mean, in an age where football is totally dominated by global finance, by massive TV rights deals, and international superstars, how does a rivalry that was built on such deep, local, and class-based identity, how does it adapt?
Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Can that raw, authentic soul, the garja, the passion, the feeling that this is about so much more than just a game, can it truly survive in the polished, commercialized world of modern football? The answer to that question might just define the future of this incredible rivalry.
The final whistle has blown, but in Buenos Aires, the conversation never ends. This was the 5th chapter of our global journey, and the Sportx Radar engine is just warming up. But now, the ball is in your court. We've seen the trophies, we've felt the heat, and we've witnessed the chaos. Now we want to know where you stand. In the comments below, Boca or River? Are you standing with the grit of the working class or the prestige of the millionaires? Drop your colors and let's turn the comments section into our own stadium. If you lived for this story, hit that like button to keep this series alive. Don't let the next derby kick off without you. Make sure your notifications are on for the Sportx Radar squad. Next stop? You'll have to wait and see. Until then, keep the passion alive. Peace.